Episode 46, Epilogue. Disclaimer: Dragon Quest III does not belong to me in any way. It belongs to Square Enix. Epilogue. The land of Alefgard was freed from the grip of the master archfiend Zoma. Finally Alefgard rejoined the world it had been separated from for so long. The Guardians and the people of the rest of the world were both in for surprises when they encountered each other for the first time in centuries. Records of Alefgard had disappeared from much of the rest of the world. Meanwhile the people of Alefgard could finally live lives of happiness without fear of the tyrannical inhabitant of Charlock Castle. It took time to adjust to life after Zoma. Eventually the people learned to plan periodic celebrations like festivals and parties. Such things used to be unheard of in the dreary land. Rubis disappeared from the land of Alefgard as she had said she would. She remained and watched the people from her hiding place. Most of the Guardians would forget her as time passed. It was as Rubis had decided it must be. It is said that when great evil came to Alefgard again she was there to aid her people in the fight for good. Suzanne, Ron, Thomas, and Alice were hailed as the heroes of Erdrick, the greatest heroes the land had ever known. The people of Alefgard recognized the debt they owed to the Four and made sure that they would not be forgotten. Stories, records, and songs of their exploits were kept and maintained in the culture of Alefgard from that point onward, attaining legendary status. However, sometimes a curious thing can happen to legends as the years pass. Small inaccuracies pile up and accumulate over time and distort the facts. Somehow the four heroes were morphed into one singular hero of legend. This hero was said to have been a master of sword and magic and the destroyer of many great evils. Thus a true warrior was born and Suzanne, Ron, Thomas, and Alice became known as Erdrick, hero of Aliahan. There was no equal. However, shortly thereafter, the hero Erdrick mysteriously disappeared and has not been seen since. Many a story has been told of that darkest of nights when Erdrick left her weapon, armor, and amulet behind. Legend says they have been handed down to worthy warriors of future generations as the sword of Erdrick, the armor of Erdrick, and the emblem of Erdrick. Author's note, and with that it's finally over. Took quite a while to finally wrap this up. When I first came to this site I used to only read long stories like this. It always frustrated me to see promising stories, such as novelizations, that ended up not being completed. I always told myself that if I wrote something it'd be a one-shot so that I'd make sure to avoid that trend. And then I broke that and began writing this. Well, now it's finally done and complete. I hope everyone reading this enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Also, an apology to those that called for this story to cover the post-game events. From the beginning this story has been based on the NES version of the game as that's the one I grew up with and have the most familiarity with. Thus, this is where the story ends. End of chapter. End of book.